year. And sometimes I missed it, but ever since my first book came out, I challenged myself, why don't I churn out one book a year? That will keep me busy and that's gonna keep me always on my toes. I don't want to, if you have written a couple of books, I don't want to say that, oh, I've written my book already and then retire. So I just want to challenge myself on it.
Challenge myself.
Yeah.
So how about you guys? Do you like challenging yourselves?
Yeah.
Yes? Para isa lang sagot nito, crowd natin.
Oh, yeah.
Yes! Gutom ba kayo?
Yes.
Okay, na-shy yung iba. Alam ko marami silang questions. And ano bang i-expect po natin dito sa book na to? Is there like a teaser that you would want to give our future readers?
One thing I've noticed with people commenting about my book is that it's easy read. And you can pick it up anytime, and then you feel tired, and then you can just leave it there, and then you go to the next story. And so it covers a lot of major items. If you notice, I assigned the title like All That Matters. In other words, these are the things that are important. So you've got family issues, you've got business issues, you've got self-development, you've got leadership, you've got so forth and so on. In other words, these are the things that will probably encompass the totality of a person's life. And with the hope that those condensed stories with an economy of words will be able to inspire people to be better, live better, and do their work better.
Wow, so this is like a self-help book for 5 different or numerous categories.
I wouldn't want to call it a self-help book because this reminds me of a story when somebody walked in the bookstore and he says, "Where's your self-help book department?" And the cashier and the salesperson says, "Well, since you want self-help, why don't you look for it yourself?" I would like to say that these are triggers and these are sparks that hope would fire up the intention, the interest of the person to seek for continuous improvement.
Cool. So this is like a spark plug for your interests,
Yes.
for your lives. Yeah. So I've read sa introduction, sir, kanina. A quick read lang ako. I saw there's like, big things matter, but the small things matter as well, because the small things are.
Yes. In fact, one of the articles there would amplify the importance of small things. If you guys ever wondered what the difference between an amateur and a professional is, I discovered this when my wife and my daughter, they're here. And by the way, today's the birthday of my youngest daughter.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, that's Rachel.
The one in red.
Yeah, she's no longer just my daughter, she's now my boss. I work for her now. And I remember one time together with her mom and her elder sister, they went to a store that sells makeup beauty products. And men cannot stand and they don't have the patience to be standing waiting for the women to finish their shopping. So I was wondering, why is it taking them too long? And then they would share. They'll look at, hey, look at this foundation. No, this one is better. For me, all of them look the same. Right?
All were like foundation.
All of them look the same.
Everything.
And so when I walked out of that store, I kept on wondering, what is it about what they were comparing that occupied so much of their time? And then I thought about it and I realized one thing. The reason why they are professionals in terms of beauty products and I'm an amateur, it is because for me, everything looked the same. But they understand the differences. Therefore, my summation of that experience is this: the difference between amateur and the professional are the tiny little details. And the difference between quality and average is, we've always heard the old cliche that the devil is in the detail. And that's true. All the details make a big difference.
Big difference. That was deep. Kaya ba? Parang hindi kayo humihinga guys. Kaya ba? Oh, can we sing like happy birthday para kay boss? Okay lang ba guys? Can you sing with me? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday.
inspirations or life picks?
Well, the answer can be found in the question you asked. I have had a lot of mentors and a lot of inspirations, and most of them are staying with me in my house, inside my library. So what I do is I apply a very standard, effective business practice, because what I do is, when it comes to sales and motivation, I would consider Zig Ziglar as my mentor. As a matter of fact, I admire him so much. I went to the stage and I got his sales training program and represented Zig. When it comes to Charles Swindoll, it's all about character. When it comes to, of course, the classical guru of modern day management, and without him, I won't have a word today, it's Peter Drucker. When it comes to academe and a little bit of the leadership in that area, I'll go to Warren Bennis. In other words, I get, here's the effective business term, I get their best practices. Because it is virtually impossible to have one person representing all the good stuff. Each one will have their own competencies, and most of them are still with me, but now they are in my Evernote. Yes, thank you.
All right, next question. All right, pauna na tayo.
Hi sir, good afternoon. I'm Chad from the Manila Feed. My question is, how personal to you is this book? Is it all about your personal experience, or you also get the inspiration from other person?
That's a very good question. And by the way, every time the speaker says that's a very good question, that means the speaker doesn't have an answer yet. It's a collection of tidbits of information that I pick from everywhere. The one important lesson I have learned in life is every single day, every moment offers lessons to be learned. We have to be observant, but we also have to be absorbent. And so what inspires me is that I'll pick up this article from somewhere, I will have my personal experience with this business client, I will view and observe what's happening now and try to come up with my own conclusion. Some deductive, some inductive, and then try to figure out what lesson can we get here. And so the main purpose of now writing and writing the column and putting it in the book and writing and speaking in a radio program is these lessons can be shared to everyone and it can help people.
And at this point of your life, sir, what matters to you right now?
God matters my entire life. I mean, my priority has never changed ever since the day I realized that it's not about me. And so my priority will be God. Number two will be the Ilocana. Don't forget that.
Yes.
It's not even the children. That's why my children know that they never make me choose between their mom and they lose, hands down. And then after that will be the kids, and they're no longer kids. Rachel is 28 today. Very, very single and available. But refuses to because her mind is absorbed in doing business. And then after that will be the purpose of why I'm doing what I'm doing, my career, my businesses. With that order.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, we have our next question. Sir? All right.
What? Hi, Sir Francisco. What challenges you? How do you challenge yourself on writing a book, as you said, once a year?
Oh, writing a book is not very difficult for me. Churning out materials every single day, that's the challenge. Well, since, how long has this been? 24 years. Monday, it used to be Monday to Saturday. Now, God has been merciful with me. It's now Monday to Friday. I have to churn out the material that I can use and then present that in my radio broadcast. And so, collecting all these things and coming up with a theme, that's the easy stuff. But churning out materials on a daily basis, that's the part that challenges me. But now I've had help. I mean, with ABS-CBN publishing, they have had artists and their people and editors helping me put the whole thing together. And I now have my daughter with her team helping me also with the graphics requirement and the creative aspects. So I guess that all makes it worth, that makes my work a little easier compared to the day when I was starting out.
Getting us pretty fast. How do we get the most out of all your books?
The power of the pen and the paper. For example, I've got news for you. My job is in leadership training, so my thesis now is I have to prepare the millennials now on how they can manage the Generation Z. Gen Z will be joining the workforce in 2 years' time. Many of them are in OJT now. If you feel that the millennials are very difficult to lead and manage, wait till you see the Gen Z. They are totally different creatures. That'll be the biggest challenge for every generation. So what I do right now is this. The Gen Z people love reading books. And the Gen Z, as my thesis would present, the Gen Z don't like reading e-books. They want the traditional books. That's why it's going to be a great opportunity for National Bookstore again. And so this is what I do, pen and paper. What do I mean? Highlight. Highlight the book. Never tell yourself, ay, sayang, no, I don't want to dirty my book. Hey, a dirty book is a clean mind. That means the mind is black. The more you dirty your book, you highlight it, you write your notes there, and then you transcribe your notes into something, and then you look at it, and then you contemplate on it, and then you let it feed your mind again and again. In other words, you're getting the maximum benefit out of that book.
That's good. Any other questions from this side?
Ano mo, nasa isip ko si Tarzan eh. I've never even, you know what, I was in a plane and this lady approached me and she said, "Sir, napatagal ko na kayo makilala. Sanay na ako dyan, may lumalapit, tapos selfie-selfie ako." I said, "Hindi po kayo si Joe Marichan." Sabi ko, "Shut up!" I never even thought about that. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't want anybody to portray me in my life because it doesn't matter. What matters now is perhaps the work that you can leave behind if you can learn from it. Me, doesn't matter. Soon enough, you and I, we're going to disappear from this earth anyway. But it's what is the effect and the effect that we have for other people that really matters. So I've never even thought about that. Maybe dark, huh?
Superhero.
Superhero.
Any other from the
That if it feels good, it must be right. Advertising agencies are very smart. There are commercials there wherein the lead actor would say, if it feels good, it must be right. No. If you take in dangerous drugs, it makes you feel good. That doesn't make you right. And so, I would like to advise that person who's very honest, but you need to take time to process and figure it out. The logic, the context, the timing, and the reasonableness before you jump out from your industry and try something else. So, I hope that answers the question.
I think we have one more.
How about questions?
Sure.
There a common roadblock to success is procrastination. Have you ever had to deal with it? And
Oh, yes. I have learned to deal with procrastination very, very early in my life. I realized that if I put off doing something, that thing will go away. But I have to deal with it in a more extensive way because of the damage that might have been done. Then you connect that with the banking principle of compounded interest. You put the money there, it earns interest. Now, the same interest added to your money now earns a bigger interest. And so when you procrastinate things, it's the same principle. Except that the interest, which is positive, now becomes something damaging that is negative. And so I've come up with a formula, and my family knows this. I get upset when you have to do something and you don't do it right away. So this is the slogan I have in the house. If you have to do it anyway, why don't you do it right away? And then get the thing done. And then you can move on to the next stage. You're welcome.
All in one? That was fast.